How instant coffee is made in a factory. Instant coffee might seem simple, just add hot water and stir, but behind every spoonful is a surprisingly complex journey that begins long before it reaches your cup. First introduced in 1890, instant coffee has evolved into a daily essential for millions of people, powering early mornings, long commutes, and late-night study sessions. Today, Nestlé's Nescafé leads this global industry, producing enough coffee for nearly 1 billion cups every single day. That massive operation starts at the source, with more than 100,000 farmers working across major coffee-producing countries like Brazil and Vietnam, supplying over 13 million bags of coffee beans to 24 advanced Nestlé factories worldwide. Turning a coffee cherry into instant coffee isn't quick or easy, but every step is carefully designed to deliver consistent flavor in every cup. Growing coffee cherries. Some of the most famous coffee-producing regions in the world are the sources of coffee beans that are used by Nescafés. The coffee plants in Brazil and Vietnam start their life cycle with tiny, aromatic white flowers in the farms. Such flowers do not have a long life, yet they are the beginning of a long change. The flowers gradually grow to bright red coffee cherries in 6 or 9 years. Farmers are watching over the plants all the time until they know when it is the appropriate time to harvest. The crop is ready when approximately 95% of the cherries are ripe and few still are green. Machine harvesting. Though there are still some farms where hand-picking is still the practice, the large-scale farms use mechanical harvesters to meet the demand. These are rapid-moving machines that pass over the coffee plants, which have 1,500 vibrating rods attached to rotating cylinders. The rods vibrate as many as 1,000 times per minute and shake the branches in a gentle manner, ensuring that only the cherries that are mature fall on the collection plates at the bottom. The machine also requires only 2 or 3 seconds per tree, and farmers are able to collect up to 60 bags of cherries in 5 hours, something that could have previously taken days to do by hand. The harvested cherries are carried by conveyor belts into large hoppers and then transported by tractor to the wet mill within 8 to 12 hours to preserve freshness. Depulping at the wet mill. The cherries enter the next phase of processing. They're poured into large hoppers and directed into a gravity-based water separator. The ripe cherries sink, and the light and unripened ones are taken away by floating. The chosen cherries are then taken through rotating drums with grooved surfaces that squeeze them in place against fixed plates. This process removes the outer pulp, leaving the coffee beans behind. The residual pulp is not discarded, but it is frequently reused as nutrient-enriched compost in the farm. Demucilage. The beans are then coated with a sticky substance known as mucilage after depulping. To eliminate it, the beans are put in fermentation tanks, which are normally lined with ceramic tiles and immersed in clean mountain water. The mucilage is degraded in natural fermentation over 12 to 24 hours. The process is closely observed by farmers, as any minimal over-fermentation can have an impact on the taste. When the beans are ready, it is washed several times. They are stirred with long wooden instruments until the water is drained and the tanks filled up several times before the workers are convinced that the beans have been thoroughly cleaned. Sun drying. The beans that have been washed are placed on flat surfaces or raised drying beds where they are allowed to dry in the sun. During unpredictable climatic conditions, they can be partly shaded. The beans are raked out by the farmers throughout the day to allow even drying. The process takes 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the condition, until the beans attain the optimal content of moisture of about 11%. Hulling. When the beans are dry, they pass through a hulling machine, where the hard parchment which covers each bean is removed gently. This shows the raw green coffee beans concealed within. Storage. Green beans are washed, graded, and filled into 60-kilogram jute or cloth bags that are properly labeled with origin and quality data on them so that they can be traced. They are kept in a ventilated warehouse so that they are not ruined by the moisture and infestation of pests before delivery. Robotic unloading at the factory. The bags are sent to a Nestlé factory where they are automatized. The heavy sacks are discharged using robot arms with spider-like grippers, which put the sacks onto conveyor belts, thus minimizing the chances of employee injuries. Moisture sensors are used to monitor the levels of humidity as the bags proceed through the line. Any bag outside the acceptable range is automatically rejected. Robotic probes also extract random samples for quality testing. Approved bags are stacked onto pallets, weighed for consistency, and prepared for the next stage. Sifting. The beans are poured into a sifting machine before roasting, and the bags are opened. Vibrating floors knock out dust and debris and broken or undersized beans. This fast screening process only allows quality beans to proceed. Taste testing. Human judgment is still needed even with the latest machinery. The professional coffee tasters also taste between 100 and 100 cups of brewed coffee in a day, and they monitor the slightest changes in the flavor. Their experience also guarantees that each batch is of high quality. In the coffee industry, one bad bean can spoil a whole batch. Roasting. After approval, the beans are roasted in industrial, two-walled rotating drums with temperatures ranging between 370 and 540 degrees Fahrenheit. Internal paddles ensure that the beans are continuously in motion to avoid scorching as well as even roasting. The time taken to roast ranges between 8 and 20 minutes and is determined by the flavor profile required. The lighter roasts have more caffeine, and the darker roasts have less caffeine because they have more intense flavors. Upon roasting, the beans are cooled quickly in large trays, where they are stirred by large fans blowing air upwards and the mechanical arms stirring them. This chilling stage takes 5 or 10 minutes, pausing the roasting action at the correct time. Grinding and brewing. Cooled beans are sent into industrial grinders, where they're reduced to a coarse powder. This powder is then brewed under steam and pressure to produce a highly concentrated liquid coffee extract. At this point, the extract follows one of two drying paths. Spray drying. The liquid extract is sprayed dry in classic Nescafé varieties. The extract is sprayed through high-pressure nozzles in a large chamber, forming a very fine spray of droplets. The moisture is immediately evaporated by the hot air that reaches 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit and travels at 400 miles an hour. The other solid particles settle towards the bottom and make the known instant coffee powder, which is easy to dissolve in hot water. Freeze drying. A more sophisticated freeze-drying technique is adopted when it comes to high-quality products, such as Nescafé Gold. The coffee extract is heated, then thickened to a syrup of toffee-like density. This concentrate is moved through a 30-meter tube of freezing, and it is chilled at -58 degrees of Fahrenheit, which preserves aroma and flavor. The sheet of liquefied coffee is then torn into tiny granules using spinning blades. Sublimation. The sublimation of the frozen granules involves melting without the removal of water. The granules are distributed onto large trays and put into a chamber under low pressure, where they are heated under 140 degrees Fahrenheit during a period of 5 hours. In such circumstances, the ice is converted directly into vapor. Vacuum eliminates the vapor, leaving behind scrupulously dry coffee granules with intact flavor and aroma. The coffee becomes stable at room temperature once finished. Filling jars. The completed granules go to the packaging section, where they are packed in big sacks and pass through the high-speed fill lines. The jars are filled within less than a second, some factories filling as many as 320 jars a minute or 250,000 jars a day. Once filled, airtight, capped, labeled, and sealed, every jar is now ready to be shipped out to the shelves of stores worldwide. From delicate white flowers to perfectly sealed jars, the journey of instant coffee is far more intricate than it seems. Every stage plays a vital role in ensuring that when you pour your next cup, it delivers the flavor, aroma, and consistency millions rely on every day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating factory stories. We'll see you next time.